Well, speaking of being sharp, Molly Huddle, she's won almost 30 U.S. championships. She set American records left and right. She was fourth here at the Foot Locker finalist in 2001, two-time Olympian, Molly Huddle.
All right, and I'll go on to number 4 here. Two-time Foot Locker national finalist, came out of the Northeast out of New York. 5 times NCAA champion at Villanova, so we'll give Carrie and the Villanova some props there, both cross-country and track. National champion at 10,000 on the track, 15K, half marathon on the roads, 3-time Olympian. Jen Rhines made 3 Olympic teams. She's number 4 on our list, and that gives us to number 3. Carrie?
Suzy Favor Hamilton. She was a 2-time Foot Locker finalist, 7-time U.S. champion over 1,500 meters. She was a 9-time NCAA champion at the University of Wisconsin, and also a 3-time Olympian. So talented here. Ran so fast over 1,500 meters. Wonderful athlete.
All right, that gets us down to our final 2. And boy, this was a good, shall we say, discussion about this. We could have gone either direction here, and we all have our opinions on this. So I have number 2 here out of California, 4-time Foot Locker finalist, 8-time All-American at Arkansas, the 2004 bronze medalist in the marathon, 2-time Olympian, 1 in London, 1 in Chicago, 5 times world cross-country medalist. That's extremely impressive. And still the American record holder at 8K, 30K, and the marathon PR of 2:19:36. Deena Drossen. And Deena, caster now. Yeah, how did you go from being a high school 2-miler to being a marathoner? That's a lot of transition, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a lot of transition, but I think anytime you're looking to reach and get more out of yourself, it's more miles or faster miles, and it seemed that it was a very natural progression. My first Olympic team was in the 10,000 meters, and then in the next Olympics, I ran the marathon. So it was just a way to get more out of myself. I tried the marathon to make my 10K better, to be stronger in the 10K, and ended up really finding that I loved the marathon distance. So climbing up until I reach there, I will say that is where I stop. I'm not going to become an ultra runner from here on out. I'm going to stick with that distance, and still loving the sport and finding as much joy in it this many years later at 47 years old.
I wonder if Map's thinking right now. CJ Albertson, who's a former Foot Locker athlete, also just set the I think it's the American record for 50K on the track, 30K on the track. Well, anyway, it's 125 laps. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Deena, thank you very much. We appreciate that. A little bit more before we go on to number 1, and you can all imagine who that is. But, you know, Map only had one coach. Firstly, I mean, Bob was his coach forever. Now, you went through different coaches who all had a profound effect on you, but I know you and Dr. Vigil have a special relationship. What is it about that made that really work for you?
Yeah, I think he taught me to just believe in the program. And when you have that belief, then your only job is to get your mind in a stronger place each and every day you get out there. So I never questioned what was on the training schedule. I got out there and did it. And he said something very profound to me early on, that there's no such thing as overtraining, because I was tired all the time. He said, there's no such thing as overtraining. You must be under-rested. So my focus was on sleep and recovery and making sure those recovery days were really slow. I think we even joked at practice that we called it a massage, like our easy days. It had to feel as good as a massage, like make it feel that easy. And so really it's just believing in the program. He taught me how to do that with all my heart.
He is a very, very special man. I know you sought him out. It was a match made in heaven, wasn't it? It really worked out, didn't it?
Yeah, and although he retired from really professional coaching after the 2004 Olympics, I still call him coach, even though my husband now coaches me, but I call my husband Andrew, not coach. But he's still very much involved in our lives and part of in helping build training programs, and he just celebrated his 91st birthday this past week. So he's still very much a motivator and a part of our lives.
You know, I loved your book, and one of the things I loved about it is I think you said it's Coach Vigil. I think the first time you mentioned his name, it's Coach Joe Vigil or something, and then forever it's just Coach after that, and he's the man. And we have the number 1, our last thing we want to get to. So who's got the greatest post Foot Locker career on the girls' side, Carrie?
Ooh, drum roll. Jenny Behringer Simpson. Let's see her videos. Your two-time Foot Locker finalist. But listen, this woman keeps on going. She has won the World Championship. She's a bronze medalist at the Olympic Games. She has many medals from different World Championships. And she just is always smiling. She's a three-time Olympian, giving back constantly. She's one of our Hall of Famers at the Foot Locker Championships. But Jenny, you know how to run fast and you get it done, and you always did at Foot Locker and now beyond. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, we've all sat here and listened to all these lists and listened from all kinds of great runners that came before us. It's a history of our sport, just sitting here watching the Foot Locker Championships. And so to be the top of any of those lists is an incredible honor. And I don't know that I feel totally fully deserving with just so many names that could share this kind of a spot. But my success is absolutely, like a lot of people, it's built on the success of others. And the two of those people that my success is built on are here with us today. One of my favorite Olympic memories to share with people is an Olympics I wasn't even a part of. One of my favorite Olympic memories is watching the Olympic Games in 2004. It was sandwiched between my two Foot Locker experiences. Was the Summer Olympic Games in 2004, and I got to watch two Americans medal in the marathon, and that was Deena and Meb. And watching them as a high schooler, I mean, it feels like a completely different world to be at that level. And little did I know that that would be the last Olympic Games that I would watch in my own living room, because then I went on to make the Olympic Games in 2008 and 2012, and then to medal in 2016. And so it really is true that the dreams of others really inspire the next crop of people coming up. And so I will forever be grateful to Deena and Meb, because those accomplishments that they ran on their own and for their group of people was also a national inspiration. And I'm one of the embers that was growing at that time that turned into the next, one of the next American careers for people to watch. And I think about that sometimes when I return to Foot Locker in person. I look out at the crowd and I think they have no idea what could possibly be in store for them just 4 years from now, like it was for me. So I'm really grateful for that. And then also another little known thing, I don't even know if a lot of Foot Locker people that still work the championships know this, but when Amber Trotter ran that incredible race in Orlando, I was a high school freshman and I was volunteering on that Orlando course. I remember my high school coach, we had no idea really what Foot Locker was, but we knew that the Disney Wide World of Sports was having this race and they needed people to volunteer on the course. And so he got us out there on a weekend, and me and my high school team were volunteers on the course, putting cones out. And little did I know, again, that a few years later I would be in San Diego running that national championship. So I hope that if my career can do anything, I just hope that it can be an inspiration like so many people's have been to mine. And I'm not done. So I keep thinking, I don't know how much longer all of this joy in running can last. But it's like Deena said, I mean, every year I come back and I think I still love it. So I'm not ready to be done. And I'm just grateful for every additional year I get. So thank you. This is a really sweet honor.